Welcome back, everyone, to Fallout mod for HOI4, whatever it's called, Old World Blues. And this time we are gonna make a new run with this mod, just to try out some of the changes. And I will play as the Mojave Chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel. So their position is bad. Let's get into it. My idea is to just strengthen everyone to make it as hard as possible for us. Because, yeah, their position is supposed to be hopeless, and I don't intend to really win in this run. I just want to see how difficult it can be. Anyway, let's just start it off. So we are gonna take some techs, of course. Arms law, combat language, find warfare doctrine, and support equipment. Free civilian factory. Let's build ourselves some more civilian factories. National focus. We have 4 divisions, and we have decisions available. Now, I am playing with like all the sub-mods in the universe. So our founding. So essentially the Brotherhood of Steel over here, I'm sure you all know of like how the lore is supposed to go with them. They're just kind of stuck here. They are declining, and just like the Western Brotherhood, except the Mojave Brotherhood is even more strapped for manpower, equipment, all of that. So yeah, our founding, we can decide who were our founding. Were they scribes or were they paladins? I'm gonna say that they were scribes because stability is good. Then we're gonna pick what we were doing in our interim. Yeah, I've got all of the sub-mods, like, you know, ridiculous amount of them. There's the Wasteland Economy sub-mod. There's a bunch of Focus Tree sub-mods, like Yakuza, Territory, New Victoria. I think... No, I don't have the Death Clause. I have the New Vegas Courier 6 Focus Tree. Then I have the Great Khans mod. Then I have the Mojave Raiders expanded mod. Just a bunch of them. Okay, so the interim, we either focused on industrial machinery or on weapons. We focused on industrial machinery because eventually they're going to be coming in handy. Our future. So the only reason I took the civilian factories rather than the military ones is so that I can build more factories. You know? I want to get up to a point where I have 15 of those factories so that I can make a full line of production and then get some trade. So our future. We learned plenty in the years that are now behind us. We must now use that experience and prepare for the many years that are in front of us. We will produce more ourselves, or we will gather more from the wasteland. I am also going to go for some long-term effects here. We will gather more from the wastelands. And, wait. Are you kidding me? So Vault 3 just got annexed by New Vegas. That means that our first war is going to be against New Vegas. That is not good. So we are going to take chapter leadership, and we're going to select our leaders. So there's 3 leaders that you can go for. I'm sure you know them much better than I do because my Fallout New Vegas knowledge is pretty low. There's Elia, of course, the chapter leader, the regular kind of scribe, Brotherhood, traditionalist kind of guy. Then you have Hardin, who's more like the hardliner, let's fight everyone. And then there's McNamara, who's a little bit more reasonable about how things are going, you know? Nation states are evolving, let's trade with them, let's ally with the NCR, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, let's expand the Brotherhood to wasteland dwellers, because of course the Brotherhood are ultra racist, and they only really care about their own. Anyway, chapter leadership, we are going to take Elia, and the reason is, he's got a disease. That disease is called Old World Blues. Yes, it's a titular thing. So essentially, he just wants to recover everything from the old world, and so his focus tree provides us with a lot of opportunities to do some of that. So they are about essentially expeditions to Helios One, which we still control, because obviously the NCR hasn't gotten here yet. Can we justify 12 more political power? Or, I mean, perhaps we should be killing this guy first, but We don't want New Vegas getting too strong, and we want to kill them quickly because at the beginning they don't have that much. So yeah, scribe thought for more research for ourselves, and there we go. Let's justify on him. So he has Securitrons, which are these robots, and they're very, very strong, but we're gonna have ways to deal with that because we're gonna go down to a forgotten weapon. So obviously we have Helios One, and as you know, Helios One is a solar power plant, but it's also a kind of it's a facility that has an orbital kind of laser that you can call down, and so that increases by 20% our division defense on core territory, which we are going to exploit to really kill a lot of people early game. Anyway, so yeah, Ohm's law. Finish these researches. We're gonna take dynamite. We're gonna take machine guns, and we're gonna continue to take some of engineering, like decryption, because that's very useful. So yeah, essentially, rumors of the old world is what we're doing. Elia has heard many stories about the mysterious Sierra Madre, and he spends the beginning of every expedition staring at the ominous figure of Helios One in the distance. Both of these places have dark secrets waiting to be uncovered. Their roots dig deep into the old world conspiracies. Elia believes that he has the key to unlocking those secrets. Oh, and of course we also got the Enclave submod. So if I survive to the late game, one of my goals is obviously to destroy the Enclave. So there we go. We're going to take Energy Boom, which isn't all that useful. So there we go. Rumors of the old world. Common knowledge dictates that the elders of any given society hold the largest wealth of knowledge, and that was truest with the Brotherhood of Steel. Father Elia has learned a great many things in his life, ticked away year after year, and his youth left him, it was replaced with a ravenous desire to reach the unreachable. He had the incurable and deadly disease that sent many a fool to an early death, old world blues. But unlike his peers, Elia possessed the skills to make his obsession a reality. Two places captivating him with their alluring glow of the bygone era of mankind, Helios One and Sierra Madre. Let's just pause so we can read the rest. The former was in his backyard, within throwing distance of the headquarters of his newly established chapter. Abandoned and unattended for an unknowable amount of time, the seemingly benign solar power plant held a dark secret. Elia had a hunch that there was more to this place than power generation, and he was determined to lay its secrets bare. His second obsession was a much deeper, more insidious love. He'd heard tales of a forlorn desert jewel, the Sierra Madre. It was a place to contain riches beyond your imagination, where any wish could be granted. Whether or not he believed these prospectors' tales, he knew that the casino and the resort was using rare prototype technology. It had its dangers, he was sure, but if he could find it, he would crack it open as simply as any safe. As far as Elia was concerned, nothing was sacred. Everything was his to know. Which is kind of like Assassin's Creed 1. Like the guy says, nothing is... Oh, the Enclave lost? Are you kidding me? Well, they still might be coming back. If he chooses Salvatore. I don't know, whatever. No, shouldn't have done that. Should be doing that. Ahead of time research. Anyway, assign a general, Edgar Harden. Assign a field marshal. Promote Paladin Ramos, even though it doesn't make any sense. You know, the Paladin isn't supposed to be outranking Edgar, but whatever. Who cares? Max entrenchments plus 30%. Division recovery rate plus 10%. Guess what? This gives us a really, really high amount of entrenchment bonus, which is gonna stack with the massive bonus that we're going to get from Helios One, the Forgotten Weapon. This is going to take 120 days, and this is going to take 60 days, so 60 days. How much more do we have for you? Like 140. Huh. I'm not going to be in time, and these two are just story events, so... yeah, I will not do any of those. Anyway, we're gonna take a forgotten weapon. So Helios One is a miracle of pre-war science, highly advanced even for its day, and completely irreplaceable in the modern wasteland. Elia, however, is undaunted by these issues facing him. His mind works in mysterious ways, and he's assured us that he will be able to repair this facility given time. Considering the outpost was recently increased, he might just be worth believing. So there we go. Reconnaissance company, maintenance company, we're gonna need those. Try to train up some paladins, of course, but we don't have really the production quite yet. Don't have the production quite yet, but we're gonna have production soon. PMGs, dynamite, and then support equipment, and then energy cells. You're gonna see later why I'm building those. Anyway, it's gonna take a while until we can actually build any of that. There's a Rangers declaring war. So a forgotten weapon. Elias' promises have come true if we, of course, finish it, and we will. Even after his genius brought Helios One back to a quarter of its total output, we were skeptical of his claims. Today, however, we were proven deeply wrong in our estimation of his promise. White light that splits the sky with a scream, leaving nothing but charred remains in its wake. This is the weapon that Elia has delivered us. So this is going to be extremely strong for our troops on the ground. And the other part of Elia's line of the focus tree is that you can retake Helios One if the NCR seizes it. I believe they do have a focus to do that. Where are they? I don't remember exactly where it is, but I think it is somewhere. It must be somewhere. Anyway, a forgotten weapon has been acquired. So now, instead of going down the Sierra Madre, we are going to take our might. Because we're not going to make that much use of the land doctrine research now, but once the land doctrine is finished, actually, yeah, it's going to be about the same time. And then we are going to go down Steel Legions to get some free power armor suits, which is very useful. And then after we've completed that, we are going to take probably our goal and then our right to get a bunch of free factories. So let's actually, now in this downtime, oh, here we are, Paladin Todd, thank you, so that I can get political power, because he's a political mastermind. He's got some very, very good things about him. Let's play the intros, because for some reason I can play those. And it's The War Never Changes. However, it's very, very low on volume. Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
But
War Never Changes. Love these intros. Never played the first two ones, the first two Fallouts, but yeah. I'll shut up.
Only this time, the spoils of war were also its weapons. Petroleum and uranium. For these resources, China would invade Alaska, the US would annex Canada, and the European Commonwealth would dissolve into quarreling, bickering nation-states bent on controlling the last remaining resources on Earth. In 2077, the storm of World War had come again. In 2 brief hours, most of the planet was reduced to cinders. And from the ashes of nuclear devastation, a new civilization would struggle to arise. A few were able to reach the relative safety of the large underground vaults.
And actually, it's kind of bugged. It doesn't finish it entirely, but we have Fallout 2.
War never changes. The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted. Too many humans, not enough space or resources to go around. The details are trivial and pointless. The reasons, as always, purely human ones. The Earth was nearly wiped clean of life. A great cleansing, an atomic spark struck by human hands, quickly raged out of control. Spears of nuclear fire rained from the skies. Continents were swallowed in flames and fell beneath the boiling oceans. Humanity was almost extinguished, their spirits becoming part of the background radiation. that blanketed the Earth. A quiet darkness fell across the planet, lasting many years. Few survived the devastation. Some had been fortunate enough to reach safety, taking shelter in great underground vaults. When the great darkness passed, these vaults opened, and their inhabitants emerged to begin their lives again. One of the northern tribes claims they are descended from one such vault. They hold that their founder and ancestor, one known as the Vault Dweller, once saved the world from a great evil. According to their legend, this evil arose in the far south. It corrupted all it touched, twisting men inside, turning them into beasts. Only through the bravery of this Vault Dweller was the evil destroyed. But in so doing, he lost many of his friends and suffered greatly, sacrificing much of himself to save the world. When at last he returned to the home he had fought so hard to protect, he was cast out, exiled. In confronting that which they feared, he had become something else in their eyes, and no longer their champion. Forsaken by his people, he strode into the wasteland. He traveled far to the north, until he came to the Great Canyons. There he founded a small village, Arroyo, where he lived out the rest of his years. And so, for a generation since its founding, Arroyo has lived in peace, its canyons sheltering it from the outside world. It is home. Your home. But the scars left by the war have not yet healed, and the Earth has not forgotten.
And there we go. So, hope you enjoyed the intros. They were very scenic while we were slaughtering people. There we are. So, we have destroyed House. And his madness will never taint the wasteland again or whatever. Anyway, so, next target. I'm not sure. So, it's kind of weird because there's, of course, there's one mechanic of Old World Blues that's very important. It's the coring states. So you can core states as long as you're not a major, which makes a lot of sense. The problem is, I have no idea what's considered a major. Like, I just don't know. I have no clue how you get considered a major. And, wait, what? By myself, I'd... okay. So for some reason I can't justify on him. Because, I don't know. Like, apparently I just can't justify on this guy.
What can I do for you?
So I guess since I can't justify on him, I'm gonna do it on the Raiders. And obviously the reason I wanted to justify on this guy, the Dam Busters, is that they have Hoover Dam, which is a ridiculously good province. Like, absolutely insanely good. You know, it's got ridiculous resources. And that's why we took the, you know, we take more from the wasteland for the founding. Because yeah, having extra resources in the end is just so strong. Anyway, so these guys are actually kind of scary in a way. Because they have a lot of guys. They have a lot of men. Now, them having a lot of men doesn't really matter because our men are much stronger. But at the same time, we'd rather have enough to defend ourselves. I don't know. First, we should probably repair the factories rather than build new ones. And I'm taking our goal right now to get extra political power so that I can get myself some core states. Which take political power. You know, New Vegas, of course, is going to be the first one we core because it's a megacity, restored megacity. And so that's going to give us the most factories and the most manpower, of course. Although we are the Brotherhood, so our manpower situation is absolutely terrible. Anyway, cored. And now we are going to go down, get new initiates, sorry, for more manpower, and then we're going to get those power armor suits. Because right now, as you can see, our paladin guys, their problem is not that they don't have weapons, is that they don't have power armor. Because power armor is difficult to build. So actually, let's prioritize that. We also have problems because we don't have army experience. So actually, let's train a militia force. Or I don't have the... Yeah, that's annoying. I don't have the bloody manpower required for a normal... Or sorry, not manpower. Army experience required for a normal force. And oh... Great cons. Can I justify on you now? No, I can't. They're terrorizing the locals. I guess they're a gang. Yeah, they're a gang. So I guess we're gonna need to wait until Caesar over here kills them and takes Hoover Dam, which is kind of annoying because my master plan was to use Hoover Dam as a choke point, along with my massive bonuses to destroy Caesar, but oh, whatever. Oh, whatever, I say. Anyway, back to the tubes. Thank you. Militia training. Very good. That is extra defense. And now, I guess, we have a bunch of robots. So, does this give us a template? No, it does not. But anyway, this is light robots. This is medium robots. Medium robots description. It does not give us a template though. Oh no, it does unlock a free division template. Maybe that is going to be usable with our robots. Who knows? Because we captured robots from Vegas's stockpile, of course. There we go. We're going to take a rapid deployment. Creating a small rapid deployment force isn't good enough. Our entire army must function like one, of course. Love the descriptions. Cons are... Yeah, the cons are expanding really high. Then they're going to get an annex war goal on the Grand Tribes. Oh, okay, so they're going to go down the Grand Canyon. How annoying. New initiates T50 power armor. T54D production. So the reason I don't want to get that much militia force is that obviously... If I'm getting that militia force, I am using my manpower on people that are extremely weak and are gonna die, and also I'm using expensive weapons, you know, because I have energy weapons, I can produce those. In fact, you know, why can't I just avoid them, make them avoid using that stuff? Yeah, how about that? Yeah, you're still using common energy weapons, but I'm sure that once I deploy you, it's going to be different. I do love the music. It's probably going to be copyrighted, but hey, eventually I'm going to get, I'm going to find the way to just get all the copyrighted music away. Yeah. Yeah, you know, see, the thing is, I can just, like, attack Good Springs, take Good Springs, then attack down into Prim, then attack into Novak, double team Novak with these two guys, and then go around, take Nelson, and they should be dead. So it should be a relatively easy war. But everyone else is expanding, we need to be fast. Shit, I am an idiot. I should have cored a state instead of upgraded my mobilization. Because who the hell knows, like who the hell knows when am I going to be considered a major country, you know? So far I'm not, but like the Paz Bandits are a major country apparently. And they're not that big, so who knows. Anyway, we're going to declare war, and let's go. So plan is, he takes Good Springs. He goes down to Prim. These two attack Novak. Then he goes down to Searchlight and Camp Searchlight and Cottonwood Cave, and then he comes around and gets into Nelson and surrounds this guy. This attack should surround these two, and yeah, that should be it. So we're actually going to be doing some major hurt on them, which is great. And actually, he needs to go for Nelson, because the enemy is being pretty quick about getting behind us. You know, what's more important than surrounding them at this point, I think, is just making sure that their units can't really escape anywhere. There we go, then he comes around as well and helps capture Nelson. Yeah, look at that. The power armor is just so much stronger than the Raider infantry. Raider light infantry has absolutely no chance. And there we go. We have defeated them. Wasn't that difficult. Now I guess... Did you in the end use energy weapons? Okay, now you're switching to like shitty weapons, but yeah, okay. Actually, if you're gonna switch to shitty weapons, I can just use you. Yes. Take all states.
What can I do for you?
And Western Brotherhood, of course, wanted to send volunteers, but no need. There we go. Let's do this. Are we considered a major now? No. That's good. And actually, I want to still train militia force. The reason I want to do that is so that I can use them to exercise and get army experience, because if I use my normal guys to exercise, you know, my paladins, it's pretty bad because they're power armor troops, you know? Don't want to use those in exercise because the power armor itself is pretty damn valuable. So you don't want to lose it just exercising unless it's to get your divisions to a good standing. Anyway, I don't think we should be expanding for a bit. We're going to core some of our territory first while we can. So what would be the best? Smoke signals. Jesus Christ.
What can I do for you?
What would be the best town to core?
Hey there.
I just wish that you would not be in the way. Alright, so now you're gonna be trained up. So Good Springs, no, shitty. Prem is shitty. Novak is shitty. Searchlight is not bad. Conwood Cove, Nelson, Vault Free. Vault Free has 7,000 manpower and it's a wasteland city, whereas Nellis Air Force Base has wasteland city. Resources. Yeah, I think Vault Free is the next one. Then Nellis, and then Jacobstown. Oh, and Nellis, of course, is also an Air Force Base, as it says on the can. So that's pretty good. We could do a scavenging program, but it's not that useful. Because when you scavenge, you get back basic melee weapons and pipe guns. So, yeah, if you're going to be using energy weapons, you know, removing those from the stockpile and manpower that we are very low on, you don't want to get in return those bad things. So now we're going to do a bunch of resources. Hopefully when I reload in, I can actually justify on the dam busters, because the dam busters are like the one little thing that I would be willing to justify on right now. Oh, we are considered a major now. Mojave Chapter. So it didn't take very long at all. So I guess there's no reason not to justify on people. Man, the cons are getting destroyed. That's hilarious. Who would be the best to justify on then? The Scorpions. The problem with the Scorpions is the NCR. But if we take the scorpions, we can use their resources and then have the choke point, which is very useful. So it's both a defensive move and an offensive one. Whereas the Sky Reavers, it would just get us closer to the Desert Rangers for no reason. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and destroy the Scorpions next time. And yes, it's gonna be next time. So I want to thank you all. I hope you've enjoyed this first episode. Thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope you'll return. And tell me in the comments below what you think. I'll see you soon.